Muhammad, 30-year veteran in this emergency preparedness, disaster preparedness, and action field. And so, you still there, Brother Rudolph?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So we got to speak with some of our callers on the line. Everybody's excited about getting this information. I had a question to kind of help us frame this conversation. This episode is entitled "Conversation with a Survivalist: A Day in the Life of a Survivalist." And one of the questions you used the term disaster preparedness and disaster management. Can you define what exactly is disaster management, so then we can then get bring it closer to home, so we can get some practical uses out of the information?
Yes, sir. Okay. Two different terms: disaster preparedness and disaster management. Disaster management is the ability to effectively utilize the resources that are available and the resources that are necessary to get you through whatever the situation is. That's management.
Yes.
So, of course, when we talk about disaster management, we're talking about someone who has the capacity to supervise people, to properly allocate resources, and to understand the situation that they're in, and then make split decisions based on the changing environment that the rescuers are in or are going to. When we're talking about disaster preparedness, we're talking about individual preparedness. Each individual are getting themselves ready to deal literally with whatever situation comes along, so that one, they are not victimized by whatever the situation is. Two, they do not become a drag on to the structure or the powers that be, and will not have to be you won't have to worry about allocating city services to those individuals because they're holding their own for right now. And three, disaster preparedness mainly is a body of knowledge that a person studies, a plan that they put into effect, and the training that they go through prior to something happening, so that when it happens, they can effectively operate.
Wow, that was complete. So I definitely hope that the listeners and viewers can now see how this applies in many different aspects.
Yeah, we heard you mention in your bio how, and even as you spoke earlier about the pre-hospital preparation and having different medicines, and we were wondering if you could share some of those herbs or techniques that you utilize in emergency situations, so that people can actually have something to take away from this segment.
Yes, sir. Okay, let me make this disclaimer right now before we get into this. I am not anyone's personal care provider, physician, or nurse that's on the line. I am merely one who is in the field that is offering ideas and not even solutions. I'm just offering ideas of what a person can do ahead of time that may help them when they go through a disaster. Where medicines are concerned, again, when we talk about disaster preparedness, and I'm going to be repetitious on this, some people may, say, hey, just keeps repeating itself. And I will continue to repeat myself and sound like a broken record until the listeners understand that the key to disaster preparedness is you, the individual. As long as individuals are not prepared, then it doesn't make a difference about the community, because the community can never be prepared. The community is only as prepared as its least prepared individual. So every able-bodied man, woman, boy, and girl must be prepared to take care, to be self-reliant in taking the necessary actions during a catastrophe or an incident. So, where medicines are concerned, if you know that you have a pre-existing medical condition, then what you need to do is you need to study for yourself, okay, if I run out of my medication at any given point, what are the foods that I can eat that can help maintain me until I can get my medication? What are the herbs that I can utilize? What are the vitamins, the minerals, the supplements that I can utilize to stabilize myself until I can get to a medical institution and get the proper medication that I'm going to need? So again, it goes back to the individual and them having a good working knowledge of their own medical history, and then being able to do the things necessary. Let me give you an example. For instance, and again, I already gave the disclaimer, I'm not prescribing, pre-dosing, or diagnosing anyone's condition. I am an asthmatic, a very bad asthmatic. So I normally have my inhaler, but what happens if my inhaler runs out or I lose my inhaler? Well, I know that at the very onset of a bout of difficulty breathing, if I don't have my inhaler, if I can get a cup of hot, strong, black coffee, then I know that that will open me up enough, that will dilate my lungs, my bronchioles, my bronchial tubes, the tubes or the pipes that bring air into my lungs, that will allow them to open up enough where I can get air in until I can get to an actual facility. But again, is this a cure or is this a treatment that I'm recommending to everybody? No, it's not. This is just something that I know in the case of an emergency, I can utilize to buy myself some time. Just being an asthmatic. So I'll stop with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was great information. A question I had was, what skills would you recommend people start learning to be more prepared?
Excellent question. And what I would recommend for every listener on this line, everybody needs to learn CPR, the choking procedure, and basic first aid. CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. When a person's heart stops, knowing how to restart their heart or simply circulate oxygen-rich blood to keep their brain cells alive until professional help arrives. By pushing on the person's chest, in the center of their chest, pushing hard and pushing fast, what you're doing is you're circulating the oxygen-rich blood that's already in their system, and you're keeping their brain cells alive until help arrives. 4 to 6 minutes without oxygen, brain cells begin to die. Once brain cells die, body functions that were connected to those brain cells are lost forever. So now it becomes a quality of life issue if the person does come back. What would their quality of life be if they've gone without oxygen for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Basic first aid. If a person is bleeding, knowing how to stop the bleeding to keep the blood in the person's body, the average adult only has about 6 liters of blood in their body. The average child only has about the amount of 2-liter soda bottles. That's the amount of blood in the average child's body. And the average infant only has about the amount of blood that's in a 12-ounce can of soda. To the child and the infant, a loss of 10% of that can be detrimental to them and can send them into a condition known as shock that could be fatal for them. So again, the objective is to learn how to keep the blood inside the body. So knowing how to get direct pressure, how to apply a pressure bandage, how to apply a tourniquet if necessary to stop bleeding so that a person can keep the blood inside their body and keep oxygen-rich blood circulating. So definitely CPR, basic first aid, like I said, the choking procedure. When a person can't breathe because they have a foreign body lodged in their throat, knowing how to dislodge that object will help them to live and can be the difference between life and death. And that's for adults, children, and infants. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Appreciate it. I had another question. You talked about fear a little bit earlier, and I know that there's people who, will be afraid. And so my question is, for those who are more calm, is there any techniques or things you've seen work in the field where it allowed the person to calm down on some level, so they didn't panic and jeopardize the whole team? Is there any technique?
Yes, breathing. And it sounds crazy. It sounds very, just real silly to say that. But yes, learning how to breathe.
That sounds brilliant.
When a person's learning how to breathe, when a person gets excited, generally what happens is they begin to hyperventilate, meaning they start breathing real fast. And in breathing real fast, what happens is they do not give their body a chance to process the oxygen that they're breathing in, so the gas exchange never takes place. What happens with breathing is a twofold or a two-dimensional thing. You inhale. Everybody, when you inhale 21% oxygen. That's how much is in atmospheric air. You exhale 16% CO2 or carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the waste product of breathing or respiration. So it's like when you eat, you go to the bathroom. Well, when you breathe, when you inhale oxygen, you exhale the waste air. If that waste air does not come out, you can poison your body because now your body is building up with CO2 and you don't have oxygen to circulate to all of your tissue. So if a person can learn how to slow their breathing down and learn how to effectively breathe through a disaster or a situation, it can reduce anxiety and it can lessen the fear within them and give them the oxygen needed to have a clear head and make clear thoughts and the energy for their muscles to do whatever task they need to do. So practice breathing exercises.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's not as crazy as to me at least, because as a meditator, I understand the importance of the breath.
Yes, sir.
And not only that, like this is we kind of talked about in some of the earlier episodes how redefining what we call emergencies and disasters and being able to see how frequently they actually happen. Whether it's you need money for rent, that's an emergency. Whether you don't have enough food, that's an emergency. And so these things, not just looking at a tornado as a disaster, but looking at things that happen more commonly, stress at work, these things that lead to emergencies, and how the tools and action steps that we're giving apply directly to those. Breathing, literally.
Without a doubt.
And
I always tell people, when we talk about disasters, we're talking about natural disasters, which are things that we have no control over. Man-made disasters, which we actually cause. And technological disasters based on the technology that we have now that we rely so heavily on. When it fails us, we go into a tailspin because we're so spoiled by the technology. But disasters simply means that your resources are not up to par with what the condition is. So anytime you have a situation where your condition outweighs the amount of resources you have, you're in a disaster.
Yeah.
And that's the best definition of disaster.
It's interesting because I think sometimes we overlook the simple things. Like, for example, I have an 11-month-old son, and the other night he was crying, and we didn't know what it was. Like, he's always peaceful, but this night he just cried, and so my wife was like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And she started to panic. But I mean, in this situation, that's an emergency because he can't talk to us and tell us what's going on. At the same time, we have to remain calm so we can truly understand what's going on. So it's not always, a tree's falling on your house, or you're in Alaska stranded on the side of the road. It could be just your son is crying, or your neighbor's coming over distressed. It's a lot of different things that could happen.
Right. And again, as I said earlier, once you start getting into this disaster preparedness, disaster mitigation paradigm, and the behavior switches, you'll realize that it doesn't matter whether it's a Category 5 hurricane, a tidal wave, a person standing in front of you with a gun, or, just the fact that the lights went out in your house or it's a gas leak. Your response is always exactly the same.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I wanted to share, you were talking about in your definition of panic. Panic is when fear overrides your cognitive ability to deal with the situation, and it gave me another way to look at being prepared. Like when you're prepared for you don't panic. You may have an initial feeling that you don't like the situation. It's not a favorable situation, but if you drop me in water, I'm gonna be like, why am I in water? But I'm also gonna realize that I know how to swim, and that's a whole different situation from somebody being dropped in water that does not know how to swim. It's a completely different situation, and so you can even say that panic is when there's no need to panic when you are prepared. When you're prepared for a situation, panic kind of goes out of the door. It gives you a certain peace of mind to be able to move in these scenarios in a powerful way. And so that's kind of what.
We have something that we say amongst ourselves, the 5 P's. Proper performance prevents proper planning for poor performance.
That's right.
Proper planning prevents poor performance.
Yeah.
And we utilize that religiously, even amongst ourselves as professionals, constantly, over and over again, because it's a reality check for us, so that we don't become complacent and then lose sight of the basics and get not just ourselves caught up, but then our whole team caught up. Because in a disaster, everyone is dependent on the next person.
Exactly. And we gotta just dropping jewels over here. We got to take a quick break, but I did want to share that we have been talking about on a couple earlier episodes about what we called our 12 P's, and which I learned in college. And it was I don't know if I can share. I guess this is our show. We can say what we want to say. Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Piss poor performance promotes pain. 10 to 12 P's. So with that, we're gonna take you to commercial break. We're gonna take you to a commercial break with that one, and tune back in with more dropping jewels from Brother Rudolph Muhammad, our survivalist on the line. This is ReadYO Radio on UrbanNationRadio.com. Peace and power.
Leroy, here I go. With this flow, here I go. Here I go. Said they gon' hate the way I flow. I'm Bruce Leroy with this flow. Here I go. Yeah, here I go. Said they gon' hate the way I glow. I'm Bruce Leroy with this flow. Here I go. Yeah, here I go. Swear they gon' hate the way I